Well, it's Christmas time once again, or a close enough approximation. And this year I didn't really want to review another terrible animated Christmas movie for the sake of my own sanity. But what that means is we're going back to the Christmas Adventure series.
If you missed the first two installments of the series, basically it's just my little way of injecting Christmas into highly moddable games. In 2013, I had a Christmas adventure in Gary's mod. I built wild inventions in a Christmas village, sang on the moon, and listened to the totally real Niall from One Direction.
Oh, wow.
That lad is pure magic.
In 2015, I had a Christmas adventure in Doom, which proved to be surprisingly horrifying on numerous occasions. I mean, there was that whole thing with Santa smoking a blunt, and the Hamburglar thing. Oh, that still haunts me.
If you want to watch those videos, they'll be available in the cards up there. There's a dog at the door. Alfie, come here. Hey, come here. What's this? I didn't want them on. Never mind.
But moving forward, I thought, what's the next Christmas adventure? And then it hit me. Half-Life 1. The first Half-Life is a monolith of gaming history, with great gameplay, great alien designs, fun weaponry, and a solid alien invasion story underpinning the whole thing. Despite being a mute, bespectacled theoretical physicist, Gordon Freeman crowbarred his way into players' hearts as a nerdy one-man army, a silent action hero of epic proportions.
So much so that in the 2007 GameSpot Best Hero Awards thingy, Gordon won against Mario.
I actually uploaded videos campaigning for Gordon to win. They're still on YouTube. It's so embarrassing, please don't look them up. Anyway, with Half-Life's 20th anniversary earlier this year, I did want to do at least something just to celebrate the game. It's one of my absolute favourite shooters ever, and I've always adored its thriving modding community.
And with all that out the way, allow me to present to you Half-Life Christmas mods.
To start with, we have a standalone mod called Christmas Life. This one begins with a simple main menu, a basic Christmas tree design, and some Silent Night on piano.
It's nothing too complex, but it's cozy, so I can respect that.
The mod itself also has a simple premise. It's basically just a whole bunch of Death Run levels, and that's pretty much it. If Death Run doesn't ring any bells, it's basically just an obstacle course mode in first-person games. But they also mean that if you fall, you die.
Oh, really? A bone-crunching death? That's what Christmas is all about.
The base levels that the mod comes with aren't too tricky at all, and I cleared them within the space of a few minutes. One level had me mildly stumped for a while as it seemed like there was an impossible jump, but as it turns out, there was just a platform that took its time to reach me. I was just impatient. And these main levels end with a cutscene where a camera pans across a house with a Christmas tree and a roaring fire.
If you can call that a roaring fire, I mean, it's more of a growling fire, or just even an existing fire.
And at first it seemed super short and disappointing, but then I noticed a whole bunch of map packs on the mod DB page. These map packs revamp the game a bit, and gives you a main hub to explore based in a little church, with a level selector in the catacombs. The only issue here is it's super dark and you have no flashlight. So enjoy those creepy dark Christmas catacombs, I guess. The first level I played with this map pack was sort of like a little scavenger hunt thing, which is a little bit different than the other ones. I can appreciate that. And you can tell it wasn't exactly the most well-tested thing because I totally didn't start escaping reasonable boundaries. The scavenger hunt itself though ended up being kinda dull. You just touch a whole bunch of gifts and they sink into the ground. And then you can go to the end of the level and you go to that house we saw before in the cutscene, but this time you get to go upstairs and find some Santa Claus clip art. Hey!
Now that's the spirit of Christmas. I like your energy, mysterious homeowner.
And after that I leapt into a sewer pipe and found myself back in church. There's almost some edgy social commentary there. I then went into the second level, which ended up being another platforming challenge. However, dying in this one for some reason just spat me out in an autosave from one of the original maps, which means if I died, I couldn't continue. And you might think, why not try a manual save? I did. Somehow, that also froze all the moving platforms when I tried to load a manual save, so yeah. Essentially, I couldn't beat these levels, so I gave up.
And giving up isn't in the spirit of Christmas. Trust me, I did try. But I want to find something that says, yeah, Christmas, rather than, oh no, Christmas. You know what I mean?
And hopefully to rectify that, we have the Hammy Bob Christmas series, which, well, this should give you an example of the tone this one goes for. Now that's what I'm looking for in a Christmas mod, nightmare fuel. You remember the Hamburglar in the Doom Christmas video? Yeah, that's what I'm after.
And we're getting close to achieving that level of nightmare once again. I can't wait.
But first, I'm going to look at the second Hammy Bob Christmas single player mod. Why the second one? Well, the first one doesn't seem to be available for download. I don't know why, but I didn't look very hard, so... I'm
fairly certain the Hammy Bob lore won't be that deep.
This one doesn't actually have its own background when you boot it up, which isn't a great sign, but I'm sure it has some nice things in store.
Sir?
I take that back.
What is going on here? Those faces. Oh no, it's one of those mods.
A failure of this magnitude is extremely improbable.
What we have here is a basic Half-Life reskin that thinks it's funny, I suppose. Also, the HUD is kind of broken, and the sheet overlay with all the symbols on is kind of just there on the screen.
Just hanging out there? Yeah, I get it, guys. I wouldn't want to do my job if I were you either.
But in the end, we just have cramped levels with Christmassy MS Paint art as textures, jacked up guns, and funny noises. I know it's an old mod, but the humour just doesn't land these days, honestly. I'm hardly even sure it did back then. Sorry, Hammy Bob guys. This one's a miss from me. And I mean, on top of that, putting hit-scan enemies in tiny monster closets with no autosaves and other nonsense, it's just not so fun.
You can't just make up for annoying difficulty by putting funny faces on a hound eye.
Plus, when I reached the third level, I started off dead and it wouldn't let me continue. I consider that a bit of a blessing, really.
So to be honest, I'm done with this mod. The search continues.
Now, the more attentive among you may remember me referring to Hammy Bob as a series, so you can bet that there's more. And that main menu I showed you earlier, that was from a deathmatch mod.
And you best believe I gathered a group of friends to play through this dumpster fire.
Oh boy, where do I begin with this one? This one does a bit more with Half-Life in general, with some nicely done maps, wacky weapons, and some new player models.
So, I have no idea what they actually look like.
You look like oh no, I don't know.
you look like kind of like a goth Peter Griffin.
What?
I'm significantly more impressed with this one is what I'm saying, but I do think it came out later as well.
It's also a little bit out there.
This is one of those mods that's a bit similar to Jake and Bacon, where it kind of just throws a whole bunch of concepts in a blender and just sees what it makes out of it. And for some teams, you make something really great, like Jake and Bacon is a really fun mod. Other times we get stuff like a Hammy Bob Christmas Nightmare.
Don't get me wrong, we did have an hour of fun out of this, but it's a bit of an assault on the senses.
Allow me to list some of the things on offer. We have fireplaces that shoot out fire and play music. We have action figures that act as grenades. Oh my god. We also have a couple of guns that are just way too powerful for their own good.
This gun is too fast.
There's even killer gingerbread men that chase you in this. Oh my god, what are these tiny gingerbread men? Oh, and one last thing. Whenever you spray anything in this game, you hear this.
You ever seen anything like this?
Needless to say, that led to this.
I wish I don't play
You ever seen anything like
You ever seen anything like this?
Beneath the wacky surface, it is still Half-Life Deathmatch, and it's still pretty fun. But that's mostly because Half-Life Deathmatch is pretty fun.
And I think the most interesting weapon in this game is the toaster.
The toaster spams slow-moving toast that damages people. It also crashed our server when we spammed it underwater.
I think the server died. Guys, I think it's over.
Oh no. So yeah, that happened. And that's all I really have to say about this one, to be honest with you. It's bonkers in the best and worst ways. Is it good? Well, I wouldn't say that. Do I recommend it? Yes. You can yeet a stick with an elf's head on it.
Though.
Oh god, I'm sorry, Cat. I wasn't aiming for you.
Game of the Year 2008. Move over, GTA 4.
And believe it or not, that's it for the standalone mods. I'm surprised too. Doom had a decent selection, but Half-Life only has A handful that I can find, and most of them are just by the same guys anyway.
But that's not the end of our journey, oh no. Next we move on to SVEN co-op maps.
So what is SVEN Co-op? Essentially, it's a standalone mod that allows you to play Half-Life in co-op. I love playing this game with friends as well, especially as you can play other mods like Afraid of Monsters and They Hunger in it. It's a damn good time.
And you can bet that some people have made some SVEN co-op maps specifically about Christmas.
Some of these can be done solo and some really require friends, but these are just what I need to get into the spirit of the season. First up, we have SVENny Christmas. Yeah, that's actually what it's called.
Kinda sounds like it should be read in a Swedish accent, which I'm not going to try.
This one puts the players on a cloud in the sky with a sleigh, and...
Map begins in 30 seconds, gangsters.
Hi?
Yeah, so apparently this one includes a full voiceover. A voiceover that is clearly just a dude in his room.
I mean, I shouldn't really expect too much, should I?
Ho ho ho, Merry Christmas. All the little boys and girls ask for grenades for Christmas, so let them have it.
Is that what we're doing? Lobbing grenades at children on Christmas? Alright, I'm in.
The objective here is to get your grenades in the chimneys and commit mass murder, I suppose. It's actually a pretty decent challenge. Really tests your digital throwing arms, so to speak. You also control a sleigh that works exactly like the car in the on-a-rail segments of Half-Life 1. It's a little bit wonky and clearly on a set path, but it does give the level something somewhat interesting. Once you've blown up all the children, the voice returns to congratulate you.
Yay, you saved Christmas!
And that's that.
Next up is Christmas. That's it. No other name, it's just Christmas. And according to this masterfully drawn Santa here, we need to destroy presents to save Christmas. Not following the logic on that one, but sure.
I mean, wouldn't you trust this Santa? Instead of going ho ho ho, he goes ho ho, ho ho.
I'm really feeling the magic this time, especially with the rainbow formatted text. The general gist of this map is, well, you're destroying presents. There are no threats as far as I can tell, but there are reskinned Half-Life assassins scattered around. They do just stand there though, and if you attack them, they still don't really react. Well, I mean, they react by dying, I suppose.
The current situation is looking pretty grim.
Pretty sure they're meant to be enticing, but I'm not feeling it.
Oh, that flat face doesn't help. It feels more like a blow-up doll than anything, and I'm just not keen on that. There are also some soldiers scattered around with names like Slave and Worker. Don't like that either. They also didn't do that much, but one of them decided to revive one of the sexy Christmas assassins at one point, which was interesting.
Keeping you in one piece is proving to be quite a challenge.
This map is a simple seek and destroy. Find the presents and destroy them. That's pretty much all there is to it. Literally none of them are hard to find, and it's not that rewarding. It's over before you really know it.
Part of me feels like there should have been more to this one. I think I might have broken it somehow. Oh well, next.
And so we reach our grand finale, Santa's Revenge. This one is very difficult, so much more difficult, and I couldn't do it in single player, so I had to bring in a few friends. And even with friends, the difficulty was absolutely brutal. Like, this is way too hard. Basically, you make it past a bunch of Christmas assassins that actually do attack you, only to be met with a giant robot Santa that shoots rockets and lasers. A lot of rockets and lasers. Oh god!
Witness me!
Okay, let's go. Everyone out, Oh my god.
Oh,
Okay. We couldn't do it. That is until my friend Keller decided to set the friction value of the server to -1. And at that point, we started to get past the giant Santa.
So yeah, we cheated, but we cheated in the name of saving Christmas. That's what it's all about here on Scarfulhu.
This led to us getting the gifts that gave us power-ups like the long jump module, fighting through even more assassins, and eventually hitting the final gift that gave the finishing blow to the mechanical saint. This map is tiny, but it took us over an hour to finish. And obviously everyone who I roped into this was totally pleased with the worthwhile ending.
Guys, I got 21. is wrong with
42
you?
deaths.
And that wraps it up for this Half-Life Christmas video.
I know these aren't my most in-depth videos, but I wanted to do something a bit easy and fun. I've been a little bit ill the past month or so, and it's just a cold that won't linger. Felt like doing something that wasn't too taxing, so that's why I made this.
I know 2018 hasn't been my best year for videos, but things have actually been getting better for me. Hopefully I'll be getting into a decent schedule soon. Knock on wood. I'm excited for you guys to see what I have in store. I've got some great scripts in the works.
So Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, all that jazz, and take care of yourselves. I'll see you in the new year.